Yeah, pretty sure the factory wouldn't just have neurotoxin antidotes on hand. Yeah, I think right now we have more pressing matters than chasing down those guys. And here's why Kilika is my favorite branch head in Liberl. She is one of the... also... yeah, because all Easterners know each other, right, Estelle? Anyway. Yeah, she's one of the few branch heads in the Liberl region to actually have a backstory. Aina is the only other one who really does. And Aina's isn't revealed until much later on, in an optional flashback in the third game. Yeah, so quite a few of the priests in this country have a lot of knowledge of medicine. So if there's anyone who can help Agate, he's our best bet. Okay, as much as this seems like it's not the time, I can make a few new quartz here, so I'll get hit 3 and HP 3. Which actually gives Tita quite a bit of utility, just from that alone. If you go to the bar during this time, the librarian's actually here. And if you have one of the books for Temp Librarian Plus, she actually does acknowledge that, but she's off work right now, so she doesn't want to talk about it. It's kind of nice that they justify that. Well, he's clearly ignorant of what's actually going on at this point. But yeah, that guy from the side quest all the way back in Roland is staying at the inn here. And so is Professor Alba. Well, good news is we kinda did. Bad news is Tita may have screwed things up and also Agate's dying. Let's stop messing around and head to the church. So Tita actually knows this guy pretty well. Also, that without context, maybe, yeah, explain a little bit more. Well, that's incredibly lucky. Will that even work, though? Here's the thing, though. This is an RPG. Of course they're out of ingredients for the poison. Zemuria moss. So, yeah, that's related to that ancient civilization. There's a lot of things that are called Zemurian in this game. And actually, it's the name of the continent, too. Yeah, so... obviously, we're going to go there at some point. I mean, it's a location that we can visit, so... it'll obviously be relevant sooner or later. Well, they say it'll be a snap, but actually not really. That place is a bit of a maze. Not quite an extreme maze, but still, it's a little dangerous. But it's our only chance to save Agate. So let's report to the guild. Because remember who they were saying was here? Yeah, Zin is still debriefing with Kilika. Well, do you really want to know this? It's not good. Yeah, I guess being the professional side questers guild, they have a lot of, data on various things that people would probably ask races to find on a semi-regular basis. Shore of an underground lake. Northwest is important because this cave doesn't have a map like some other locations in this game. And obviously there are strong monsters in there. And only one returned. And he wasn't the same. Yeah, we actually have a veteran bracer with us, so obviously Zin was going to be a party member. So these two already have a little bit of a relationship established. And this is our first glimpse of the fact that Zin is not quite the stoic big guy that he kind of acts. He definitely has a, well, easily flustered side to him too. Zin's actually a pretty interesting character, but we'll definitely be finding out more about him later on. So we really only have him very temporarily at this point. And I think we all know what's going to happen here. I can see why I should be feeling guilty right now. Well, hopefully she's not going to be attacking a attack craft this time. So yeah, I know exactly where that is, don't worry Joshua. What I want to do though is I want to talk about a new party member here, Zin Vathek. Zin is the second of the physical specialists of the party, and while Agate is more specialized in physical offense, Zin is all about physical tanking, having the highest HP and defense just overall in general of the party. Actually, let me just quickly check something. If I unequip his armor... Okay, 105 base defense as compared to Estelle's 95. Estelle's base defense is pretty high, but Zin definitely has her beat there. In fact, I may actually have him do the gentlemanly thing here and actually give the weaker defensive party member his armor, because Agate annoyingly did not put his stuff in the inventory before he collapsed from poison. So also, Zin's brass knuckles count as another thing for our weapon counts, and in terms of items... Okay, preventing freeze might be semi-helpful where we're going. Blind as well. Actually, I should probably equip seal protection, but I think Agate has that right now. Lily necklace is also pretty helpful where we're going. In terms of orbment, as you can see, his one is kind of a mess. He's not great of a magic user, but since he does have a lot of restricted earth slots, it's at least not difficult to get earth wall onto him. I like defense 2 on Estelle. At least he comes with action too, which is also pretty great. I think I'll put hit 3 on him as well. So, going into tactics here. Okay, currently his only S-break is disable. Battle position, obviously you want him to be as far forward as possible. Not only do his weapons have limited range, he also is best served on the front line tanking hits. I think I'll go into a bit of a diamond formation for this one. And with that, there's really not much else to do but see you at the Limestone Cave. Though I might as well get an extra defense 2 for Zin. Just to make him a little bit bulkier. So, here we are, Limestone Cave. We're not going to let that warning stop us, let's go. Because when we go through here, we're going to be attacking a random ray. Let's not do that. We are going to be back into the realm of the DootDoots. This is actually the area the DootDoot music is most commonly associated with. A lot of people forget that it plays in the schoolhouse. I remember though. I always remember. I am never gonna live that down at that being DootDoot schoolhouse. True, but I think she could be helpful to us here. The more people we have, the easier it will be to get our hands on that moss. Thing is, this place is kind of nothing but underground lakes, so yeah, it's not exactly a very good tip. But the northwest part is. And yeah, Zin is right, because as I said before, this place has no map, but thankfully I know how to navigate it. But this place is also filled with something horrifying, something truly monstrous, something penguin! Yes, this place is full of evil penguins. There are many varieties of these. This one is a pink penguin. This one, I forget exactly what this does. All the penguins do kind of different things, honestly. But anyway, Zin has a few crafts that I'll probably talk more about when I actually get some CP on him. I should probably give him some, okay, you don't have enough, CP to use smoke cannon. Some more CP with him. A lot of these penguins can confuse you, though. They also make a really great sound whenever they're attacking or getting attacked sometimes. And gone. Tita should be catching up in level pretty quickly, and yeah, Zin is pretty crazily powerful. You can also get fish as drops from these things, which sort of makes sense, but is, I guess, kind of disgusting because they may have already eaten them. Or maybe they're, you know, they've already fished for them and they have them in their flippers about to eat them, and we kill them and steal their fish. Flane approves. Anyway, is skilled with water-based arts. This is the blue penguin. No less evil than its pink variety. Most of these aren't too bad, but some of them can spawn in pretty large groups. They also seem to be kind of slow, but we do have a lot of action quartz on us. Yep, didn't even get a hit in.
Savor the victory. We earned it.
And yep, that is indeed Patrick Seitz as Zin. Patrick Seitz will never get away with being typecast, get away from being typecast as big guy characters. That's just kind of his thing. Anyway, here are baby penguins. Adorably lethal. Unfortunately, they must die.
They messed with the wrong guy.
And I believe he's actually drinking like a thing of sake in that animation. It took me a while to figure that out. I thought that was just some kind of sack that he held over his back. But anyway, we actually want to go this way first because it's the exact opposite of the direction that leads to progress. So, heading down here, we have another evil penguin to fight. Actually, a penguin we haven't seen before. Yellow penguin. Looks more orange to me, personally, but anyway. Emits a gas that disrupts enemies' defenses. Yeah, there's actually quite a wide variety of attack types on these different penguins. And it's petrified, so yeah. Don't need to worry about you anymore. Yeah, I'm leveling up a bit just to see if I can get Tita a bit more experience. Because she will need it towards the end of this place. So there are 7 chests in the DootDoot Limestone Cave. Tirabal. The chest is empty, but covered in scratches. It spells out, Mr. Tiddles was here. There's actually, I feel like that's a bit of a running joke in the series, because there's actually a cat with that name in Trails of Cold Steel in one of that game's side quests. Nothing there except a penguin. Up here, though, we have a white penguin and another chest. White penguin. Can kill its prey with a single attack. Okay, that thing is definitely on my to-die list. And red penguin, which I don't think we've seen before. That one seems to be more physically oriented. Gotta just flick it to get you out of the turn order. The white penguin seems to be quite fragile compared to the other types, so that's very helpful. Okay, Zin is definitely getting towards the point where he can be showing off some of his craft, so I'll be sure to do that in a moment. Yeah, that thing is fairly strong. Okay, so crafts. Zin has quite a few. He has Taunt, which is excellent because he's the most bulky character in the game. Distend, which buffs his strength and defense by 30%. This gets a lot better in the second game. It's not that amazing here. Composure, which can cure an ally, or himself, I believe, of status ailments and heals 800 HP. And Smite, which does quite a bit of damage and has a 50% chance of inflicting confusion. So, that's a pretty solid skill. He also makes a pretty great Patrick Sites yell when he does it. I wonder what it must be like watching Patrick Sites in a recording studio, because he probably has to yell a lot.
We're good to go.
Zin gets an S-Craft in the second game that I jokingly refer to as simply Patrick Sites yelling! But anyway. Yep, it's a monster penguin chest that has a very wide variety of penguins for us to fight. In fact, I think, okay, there is one penguin we haven't seen before here, the green penguin. Hurls fish with incredible strength. Yeah, some of these penguins can shoot fish bullets at you as a ranged attack. Oh, some of them can also summon more penguins. Ah, Sardine Bullets. Yeah, that attack is really annoying because it inflicts Strength Down. And Strength Down on you is basically just like Comfort on enemies. You pretty much do no damage to anything. I can demonstrate this right now by doing this. Yep, 3 damage. So, yeah, that is always frustrating to have to deal with. Okay, did not get petrified any of them, but got blind on a few of them. Okay, good, that missed. I forget if that's actually the instant death attack or not. I don't often see it get its instant death attack off. So many penguins! Okay, that one can buff others. Good thing that missed, and good thing you didn't get a critical turn, and it's gone, okay. Forgot that thing could actually flee. Okay, 3 penguins down, and you're still strength debuffed. I forget if Distend can counter that, but I don't think the battle will last long enough to find out. Anyway, it's worth it to see this Dragon Ball style power-up sequence. Yeah, you still have that debuff on you. I forget exactly how, like, stat debuffs interact with buffs in this game. Yeah, I believe that inflicts confusion if it works. And that was a wasted dual strike. I was actually going for the pink one. Yeah, I'm doing a little bit more damage, but not quite as much as I should be. Okay, the debuff's worn off, so now I just have my straight-up buff strength. I think that did exactly enough damage, too. And that was just barely not a level up for Tita. you also can get a lot of status ailment quartz from these enemies. EP3, found, nada, zilch, 0. Except EP3 is actually pretty nice. I may as well upgrade Joshua's current one, not that it'll give him access to much more. Chaos Brand's really the best in the way of Mirage arts that you'll get in this game. If we head up this way, though, we have some baby penguins there, but also a chest and a sneak preview on the chest. An empty chest! Scandalous! Oh, right, I just realized I think I probably should have gone to the armory, because I think they're selling another weapon for Zen at this point, just like they did with Agate when he first joined, but I could be wrong about that. There's a lot of little twisty-turny passageways in here, and most of them lead to dead ends with chests. EP Charge EX. The chest is empty. Nefarious! Named after, okay, I would say my favorite antagonist in Ratchet & Clank, but they really milked him in the later installments, and it kind of got old. He was great in Ratchet & Clank 3, but not so much when they overused him. Okay, so heading the other way will lead to progress, but this way is going to lead to that chest that we passed by earlier.
Savor the victory. We earned it.
Okay, what are you? Yep, you're another monster chest. This place always reminds me of that one Yu-Gi-Oh villain who for some reason was obsessed with penguins, and the Abridged series got a lot of kicks out of that. Dex down. I don't think I've seen that one before, actually. Oh great, I got 3 of us. And that can inflict freeze. That's why I wanted to bring lighters to this place. Okay, do I have freeze curing items? Actually, I only need 1 because Zin can cure the other one. I think the only thing that I have is Curia Balm. So, via the power of deep breathing, I can cure... Well, actually, Zin probably just yells and melts all the ice on her. Anyway, let's try and get another smoke cannon off. Oh, is that gonna kill you? No, good. I really do not want Joshua to lose all of his EP, so I am definitely going to heal him right now. Because I really want him to have Black Fang ready for the boss fight at the end of this cave, because, yep, there is going to be a boss fight at the end of this cave, obviously. And I think you can probably tell what it's going to be.
Savor the victory. We earned it.
And that's that over. G-Impact. It's empty. What depraved individual would do something like this? Well, someone wanted a better weapon for Tita because, yep, G-Impact is a better cannon for her. G-Impact sounds like something out of like a Gundam anime. For some reason, Impact is like a gratuitous English word that Japan is kind of obsessed with. That and, oh, there's quite a few of those, like Special is another one. Anyway, we have a chest here. Tirabal. The chest is empty. Madness! 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 That's probably one of my favorite ones in this game. And we may as well fight this. Oh, actually, the G-Impact seems to have a bigger AoE on it than Tita's original cannon, which is kind of cool. Yeah, I did notice that it said Area M instead of Area S. Which gives her basic attacks the same range as Aerial, I believe. Which is pretty cool. So yeah, despite not being that hardy physically, Tita definitely has a lot of utility. Yeah, both of those are Area S and that one's Area M. Kind of cool how they actually changed the AoE effect on various weapons that Tita has. Yeah, now there is a little bit more to this place. Another Tira Bomb. The chest is empty. Nefari! Copy-pasted. Hey, just like Ratchet and Clank keeps overusing Dr. Nefarious, right? Yeah, it's just an example of too much of a good thing. Because the original, again, like, Dr. Nefarious was a great villain in the first game he appeared in, and then they just were like, oh, yeah, he's such a great villain that we'll just keep using him over and over again, and then people got tired of him, obviously. Okay, I believe we're getting very close to the end here. Yep, okay. So before going through there, you want to make sure that you're ready, because... Okay, let's see. Firstly, you want to make sure that you have some fire quartz on at least one person. So, attack 2. I may as well actually put fire quartz on Estelle. Also, yeah, as you can see, Zin's ATS really sucks. He's really, really bad at magic, even though I've got Flare Arrow on him. So he's probably going to be better served attacking physically in this fight. I'm also going to use Rainbow Jelly Beans to get Tita and Joshua's CP up to 200, because that's going to be kind of helpful here too. Also, Confuse Protection I believe is really, really useful in this fight. And now, we go. To the moment that many people have probably been waiting for if they're familiar with this game. One of this game's most well-known lines of dialogue. You'll see, trust me. So, even though this place is pretty much nothing but underground lakes, this is pretty much the biggest underground lake here, so obviously this is the one we're looking for. And you still have time to make preparations now, so be sure to do so. Because once you examine this, things will happen. Huh, maybe it's related to Firefly Fungus. And yeah, Zemuria, Septium, a lot of that is connected. However, because it has a lot of components that make up Septium, you know what Septium does in this universe? Remember that? Just saying. Yeah, looks like Zin's passive perception noticed it before we did. Here it is, here's the line. This line right here. I just want you to take this in. Yep, this is something that Estelle actually says. And so, it is time for penguins, as that one guy from Yu-Gi-Oh! Would say. This thing is King Penguin. Slightly weak to fire, it has a lot of HP, and it is incredibly annoying to fight. It also has a bunch of flunkies, and what I like doing is going straight for Black Fang and Cannon Impulse right off the bat, just to take them out, because they get very annoying, especially the ones that can use Sardine Bullets to drop your attack power. In fact, I'm going to actually go straight for Cannon Impulse after this, just to make sure that I finish them all off. Oh, actually, that one dying probably meant that I couldn't get them all in this, but oh well. I guess I can get the big one here, and obviously I'm not going to skip this. Never enough Daka! Okay, that's more flunkies down. Right, you are going to go ahead and buff yourself immediately. Even though, again, this buff is not as good as it will be in future games. Zin actually gets a lot better in the second game, because not only does Dis 10 get an upgraded version that buffs strength and defense by 60% instead of 30%, but also he gets an attack called Thunder God Kick that is incredibly strong, and I'm really looking forward to talking about that, but unfortunately we're not going to get a chance to see it for a while. It's actually strong for all the wrong reasons too. Okay, now that attack, I believe, can inflict seals, so you want to watch out for that, because that'll lock off crafts. Now, this thing I'm pretty sure is immune to confusion. And it is very bulky defensively, so that's why I wanted to put fire-type arts on a lot of characters here. Okay, you have Earth Wall. I may as well go for that. In fact, assuming nobody gets attacked here, I might actually be able to get this off. And I kind of doubt I'll be able to get this off. But, oh well. Let's see. Let's have Estelle go for a Firebolt. No, you actually puts Zin further into the Earth Wall range. Once it's down to just the big penguin on its own, spamming Earth Guard and Earth Wall makes its damage output fairly trivial. But even still, am I doing more with Dual Strike now I think about it? No, yeah, this thing is very physically bulky, so obviously you want to either be buffed or you want to be using fire arts. This fight's not exactly difficult, it's just very, very tedious if you don't have the right abilities, so that's part of why I like bringing fire arts. Let's see. Let's go for Earth Wall and the three of you there. Estelle can probably use Morale. From what I can tell looking up online, I think Morale working on magic was kind of a sort of a bug in this game, and it works the way that it's intended to in the second game, in that it only affects physical attacks there. Okay, let's see. You also have Earth Wall. Actually, let's see how much your Flare Arrow does. Actually, not that terrible. Clock Up is not amazing, but I suppose I can try that now. Yeah, first I'm actually using Clock Up and Clock Up EX. And yeah, I believe I have Seal Protection, because that's what's being blocked here. So, Clock Up EX, from this point on, very highly recommended in any boss fight. Plus 50% speed ensures that you get a lot more turns than you normally would. Regular Clock Up is okay, but by the time that you get to the point where Clock Up... Like, by the time you get to the point where you have enough speed that Clock Up is actually useful, you have access to Clock Up EX. That's why I don't really find myself using regular Clock Up all that much. I think I might... Oh, actually, the only... No, hang on a second. If I punch you... I can swipe the critical turn. It's not a particularly impressive S-Craft, but it does remind me a little bit of a Street Fighter combo. Speaking of which, I can't believe I didn't realize this earlier. When I was talking about, like, with Zin and him being a martial artist and everyone saying that he looks like a bear, I can't believe I didn't realize this before, but... Kuma from Tekken, obviously. There actually is a martial artist bear. No, I suppose I can go for Soul Blur. Yeah, actually, I should be using Firebolt, Flare Arrow with you. We use the crit turn there. Uh-oh. Okay, so that is an attack that can be cancelled. It's... Okay. I've actually totally forgotten what that attack even does, so I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of stall and spam Earth Guard, just to see it, because I've totally... there is another boss quite similar to this one, let's just say, that, well, I definitely remember its ultimate attack, but this one I've kind of forgotten, so I guess we'll find out. Sonic Boom, okay. Yeah, that hits very hard, and I think can inflict confuse, but it is cancelable, so yeah, I don't really consider it that bad of an attack. Also, let's set up our strength buff again. Oh, the animation for Earth Guard is like a little smaller than the Earth Wall animation, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, you're nearly done. You're very nearly done. I probably don't even need to cancel this. Yeah, very physically bulky, but... Yeah, the ones with Clock Up EX are going so fast that I'm not even going to get the time to cancel this. So I guess that's a good showing of the power of Clock Up EX. Trust me, you will need that in later boss fights.
Let's move out.
In both this and the second game. In the second game, every single boss fight is pretty much just spam Clock Up EX on the first turn. And so, Evil Penguin has been vanquished. Again, not a tough fight, but it is very tedious due to its high defense and HP, so... yeah, trust me, I've actually done that fight forgetting to bring Fire Quartz before, and it's not fun. And so we do have a chance to stay in here for a little bit to get any chests that we missed. I keep instinctively pressing the map button, but there isn't one for this place. So, we have the moss. We fought an evil penguin for this. It had better be worth it. Yeah, there are even divine rituals for making medicine. And so, hopefully, we have the medicine. Unfortunately, it's not a perfect remedy. It will rely on Agate himself to fight off the poison, but... he seems pretty strong. I'm sure he'll be able to do this. Well, I'm sure he can take it, but this is gonna be a rough night for him. Wow, rough day too. Well, she's a professional. I'm sure she'd know that. I will just say, we have seen that name before in this game. Somewhere earlier. See if you're attentive enough to realize what it is. I won't spoil it. It doesn't actually become fully relevant until the second game, but I'll just say that it's not impossible to figure it out now. We do have all the necessary information. Again, we have seen that name before. Yeah, he was a great help in defeating that evil penguin and saving Agate. So, Zin has a very short stint as a party member in this chapter, but we'll actually be seeing a lot more of him in the next one. So, in a way, this chapter's more Agate's focused chapter than Chapter 2 was. Zin's more of a Chapter 4 character. This was just more of a sneak preview, just like Chapter 2 was a sneak preview of Agate. Well, that just so happens to be when most people are staying until. Because if everything times out, we'll be getting our last bracer recommendation in Grand Sale around the time of the Queen's birthday celebration. Why is it that always in RPGs, major events tend to line up with major national holidays? That's a really cool shot of the airship, by the way. And thus departs Zin, slayer of evil penguins. We'll meet again in the not-too-distant future.